All right, hello. Today is Friday, October 17th, 2025, and it's around like almost 4 p.m. where I currently live. So I had a car appointment, so I finished work early to go do that, and my car is pristine. This is how like reliable and pristine my car is. This car is brand new. Okay, you've seen it plenty of times if you watch my videos. It's a 2025 Honda Civic Si, and I have not serviced this car since ever. I got it off the dealership lot when it was brand new, like 2 miles on it. Not even that. Yeah, I think it was like two, just because he moved it. And it's almost a year. I got this car in December 2024. So it is yeah, it's almost the end of October, near my birthday, and I have the first service on this car. Absolutely phenomenal. So I just have to rave about that because I love it. My car is moving. Oh, still brand new, and it's a manual. So yes. Um, so on to the reason why this video. This video is on the movie review of Love Brooklyn. It was released this year, 2025. I believe limited release. I kept looking for it, I think, since like May, and it was never released where I currently live. And so I was like, I'm gonna keep looking and see if it pops up on the streaming services, and it finally did. I found out last night. So I watched it on Amazon Prime. I rented it, and here is my synopsis of it first, and then I'll go into I'll give my rating, and then I'll give the synopsis. So my rating of this movie sits between about 6.5 to 7. I'll give it a 7.5 for the acting. Because I could tell the actors and actresses enjoyed, the cast members enjoyed um, just the material they had, and I could see to the how it just allowed them to feel comfortable to portray these characters. So yeah, so I would say about like a 7, if I have to, just a complete number, a 7. Okay, so the synopsis. So it's a main character who is a writer, and he's kind of having like writer's block, but there's a reason. And it is because he lives in Brooklyn, and he's starting to see changes. And then with his own life, he's still talking to his ex on friendly terms, but you can tell there's still chemistry. And then he's talking to also a widow who has a little one. And so Andre Holland plays the main character. And then um, the ex girlfriend is portrayed by Nicole Bahari, I believe is how I'm pronouncing it correctly. And DeWanda Wise portrays the widow, and her husband suddenly passed away. So that is a pivotal point in this movie. It's not giving it away. Like, you already would know that when you're reading the synopsis. So pretty much, like, it just shows how this main character is talking to these two other characters, and he pretty much grows up. Like, he's seeing from their perspectives as well as his interaction with both of them, and he's like, all right. And this helps him see where he is in life and how it's impacting his writing as well. So that's the synopsis. And I will give my little perspective on the movie. um, so the reason why I gave it a solid 7, or if I give the range 6.5 to 7.5, is because I love independent movies, or indie movies is what they call them. So I love this. It literally is one. And so it's like nice to see this kind of atmosphere again, and how it is a romantic drama, but it's not so dramatic like, some blockbuster movies can be. It's just enough to keep you engaged in the story. And then the acting, I can tell the cast members are like, oh, this is kind of fun to portray this character. So they, you can kind of see they give little um, quirks for the characters. Um, Particularly Nicole Bahari, there's little things she does. It is cool, and I just have to say, I love fashion, but it's in the sense of like somebody having their own sense of style, and it's not really like following like fashion trends. So I'm not into that kind of stuff. And I love aesthetics. So I do like beautiful things, but like I said, at the end of the day, for me, it's more, hey, I see that person's sense of style. I like, this piece on them, or that jewelry on them, that item on them, or I like the whole outfit, how they incorporated different things. I just do not go by like, oh, they're wearing, that brand clothing because it was 2024's, fall line or some mess. I don't follow that. So the reason why I bring that up is I don't know who styled Nicole Bahari's character when they're walking in the park. Her and Andre Holland's character, but they're walking in the park just having a good old time. And she does these little quirky things for her character. And I was like, I like that. She'll start singing and doing these like little dances, and he'll join in. So you can see their bond and why they like dated. And then over time, you see why they didn't stay together. But in that scene, she is wearing this outfit. It is like different multicolors, like it's blue, black, sheer, and I feel like maybe a green is in there, like a lime green or emerald green. But it's like sheer, and I don't know what bra she is wearing, but it is nice. Like, because I love chest harnesses, and that's what it looks like. And so I was like, oh, I kept trying to like take a photo of it. But the app was like, we don't let you do screenshots. And I was like, how dare you? Because I was going to look for it. I mean, my breasts are small, but I was like, I still want that type of bra, because it was like this cross piece. And then it had like these punch holes, like metal punch holes in them. And it just was nice. Like, and you could see it like pop through when they were walking. And I was like, ooh. And I think she even liked it, because like it was just the way she was like moving in the scene and walking, and then like how she was standing, and I was like, ooh. So I love fashion like that. I love where it's like makes that pretty much you can see that person's sense of style. So like in this character, I can see with this character, the character likes loose, wide leg pants, but then like like a sheer shirt with like obviously like something like their bra like looking like a design underneath. So it's like an added feature for their outfit. I loved it. So whoever styled you, if that's your style, keep it up, because I like that. And then I just have to say, I really like DeWanda Wise's haircut. Oh, because at first I thought it was just shaving down, because I've done that. I love my hair very short, so shaved, bald, putting that quote, or long like it is now. So it just depends on my mood. So right now I like my hair long, so I'm growing it out, my afro. Or if I like it short, like I'll have somebody cut it in different ways, or I'll do it myself. But her cut I like, because they did a faux hawk, but you could see it like when they like pan onto the side, like her profile and stuff, like you see it like a V, And so you see like the top like in a V shape and then they faded the sides. I was like, yes. I was like, that might be my next haircut. So thank you. You look so pretty. And then yes. So the only thing about this movie that I wanted more of, because I was just trying to make sense of why it's called Love Brooklyn. And that's one of my first places I want to visit when I go to New York City. Like, I've never been to New York City. And I think since I was a kid, I think it was a show I watched, but I think Brooklyn women, y'all are some fine women. You hear me? So I was like, Brooklyn's the first place I'm going. So I was trying to figure out while I was watching the movie, like, well, why is it called Love Brooklyn? And then I realized, like, oh, I feel like it's missing something when I was just watching it. And what it was is, even though the characters are walking and you see the characters, interacting in certain spaces and environments in Brooklyn, um, to me, they should have made it more emotional settings, like in these spaces of Brooklyn, to make me feel like, okay, that's why this movie's called Love Brooklyn. Because I was like, at the end of the movie, you can understand why it's called it, but I just felt like it wasn't. It's missing that like heart of Brooklyn. Like, it's there, but they could have done it more like a. I feel like they could have done it like an art piece. So, like with different pieces of art, you would pinpoint like the details of what this means, and then it helps bring out this other part of the art. I feel like that's what they should have done with the different environments of Brooklyn. And so I feel like that's what's missing, is that heart of Brooklyn. Like, what makes these characters be Brooklynites, you know what I'm saying? So like, show that like more, like each character is different too. So I would have really liked if they had more, where like the main character and the widow interacted in one area of Brooklyn. Like, we could have really got that emotional sense of their bond and interaction. And then when it's the ex-girlfriend and the main character interacting, they could be in another part, which they were, but I just didn't feel like it tied in the emotional piece of that environment into their interacting. So hopefully that makes sense. So that's my reason of why my rating is pure 7 exactly, or solid 7, or the range between 6.5 to 7.5. What brings it to 7.5 is because of the acting. And then I just like the sense of whoever directed this and the production crew, you all did well in bringing in, like, I could really tell they were in Brooklyn. Because at first I was like, oh, I'm thinking they're in maybe another city. But no, like, I was like, okay, yeah, they are definitely in Brooklyn. So you all did very well. So that's why I'm like, if you just brought in that emotion to, interact, the interactions between the characters and where they're actually in Brooklyn, like standing, kind of bring that out, like, yeah, it would have been really like, okay, I would have gave it a higher score. So a 7. All right, bye.